here we go. Probably one of the harder, well, it is definitely the hardest lesson in this unit, but once you get the hang of it, it's not terrible. But it depends on how closely you can follow directions. We all have strengths, and mine might not be following directions. All right, so remember yesterday I gave you two options. Yesterday, the way I did the examples, I either drew the triangle for you, or I gave it to you as words. So I drew it, or I gave it to you as words. So the trouble is when I give you the triangle in words, there is an option, well, that there's possible triangles you can draw, like different triangles you can draw. So if I give you two sides and one angle, and you have a matching set, so in this, there is a matching set, and we all remember what a matching set is? Yeah. Right? So that's a side and an angle that are across from each other. There are four possible options. One unique triangle. That's like the pretty picture. Easy peasy. That's like 2.3. So that's like less than 2.3, like that's the easy stuff we did yesterday. One right triangle. That's grade 10.
I remember that.
That's easy peasy. So those are your trig ratios then. And no possible triangle. That's always fun. A triangle actually can't be created, so we would have no solution here. So this is the one that's kind of the pain in the butt. The triangle can be drawn two different ways. So you have a two triangle solution. So inside one question, you have to do the answer in two scenarios, two different triangles. Okay. Here we go. This little box, ladies and gentlemen, is on your formula sheet. So you do not have to, looks like my box shifted. This is hanging out and that's too far that way. You do not have to memorize this. It is there. It is right here. Ambiguous case triangles. Okay, so what do lowercase letters represent? Sides. Yeah, okay. So now I need to stress this. If we're doing this, it doesn't really matter what the letters are, but A is the side of your matching set. So when I'm talking about A and B here, I had to give them letters and we labeled them A and B just because that is what's in the formula, but it could be X, Y, Z. If you have a set, the matching set, so you have the angle and the side, those in this scenario are A. We'll go through this a little bit.
Okay, but what confuses me now then is what if it's X, Y, Z, then how do we know which one is your matching set, X, Y, or Z?
Well, you have to just, if you have X and you have the angle and the side, that's your matching set.
Okay.
So if you have an angle and a side that match, that's what I'm referring to as A in here.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's the confusing part. So if A is greater than B, B is the other side given. It's not part of the set. So if we go back to yesterday's example, because I know you're all excited to revisit that. Yesterday's example, where is my matching set? What letter is my matching set?
It's I can't see the letter actually.
What letter is my matching set?
There, P.
It's P's, right? Because I have the angle and I have the side. So these, when I'm looking at this, become the letter A. So A always represents my matching set. Okay? Your triangles are going to be labeled all kinds of different things, but when we get back to this, when I'm referring to A, side A here, It's the side of your matching set. And in this case, it was P. So P, which sometimes some of my students just go through and label them like that, just so they know when they're looking at the ambiguous cases. They know that P's would be A's and the Q would be the other side. So this says that if side A is greater than side B, there's one unique solution, that there's one triangle, it's less than 2.3, easy peasy. So is side A greater than side B? Yes. So we have one triangle and we solved it correctly. Go us. That's awesome. And now I've lost my notes. But if side A is less than side B, then you have to do some math. Okay? And that math is going to tell us what we have. We have no solution, one solution, two solutions. Okay. We're going to do the bottom here for a sec. So side A is 85 units, can be drawn in two positions. So this one, side A is 85, sorry. Angle A is 61, and side B is 93. So if we use our rule, so I'm looking at, is A greater than B?
No.
No. So we know that A is less than B. And now we're going to do some math. All right. So if A is less than B, we have to do more math. Well, we always have to do more math, but you have to do the test. You have to test to see what you've got going on there. So what I do is I have A, fluffy cloud, B, sine of A. I'm a big fan of fluffy clouds here, folks. I got that from here. So B sine A. Everything's B sine A, B sine A, B sine A, right? It's either greater than, equal to, or less than. So I'm going to fill in my information. A is 85. Big fluffy cloud, 93 times sine of 61. So I got to grab my handy dandy calculator, which I have nicely buried. 93 times sine of 61. Okay, so is 85 greater than, less than, or equal to 81.3?
Greater than.
Greater than. So my big fluffy cloud gets replaced by a greater than. So when I go back to my rules, if A is greater than B of sine A, I have two triangles. I have two possible solutions. So I gotta draw two triangles. And we're gonna go through a really specific way to draw these triangles. You guys are gonna love me. So your success on this depends on how well you follow instructions. It really doesn't. But if you can follow instructions and know how to do it the same way each time, especially for the two solution triangles, you're gonna get much better at this quicker. And who doesn't like getting it done quicker? So this one would have two solutions, or two triangles. So solutions probably isn't the right word to use. We've got two triangles that we're going to end up having to solve. When I ask you to solve a triangle, do you guys know what I mean by that?
Find the missing side or the missing angle.
Find every missing piece.
Oh, yeah.
So if I say solve a triangle, I want all the pieces.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive into this. Solve for the missing information in triangle ABC. Oh, good, it's ABC. They're all ABC. Boo. Let's change that. X, Y, Z. We're going to change that to an X, that to an X, and that to a Y. Z is very American. Z is very American. And I always cross my Z's so that they don't look like the number 2s. All right, so first thing I do before I draw my triangle, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my test. And when I refer to my test, I'm referring to I'm looking at this part here, and I'm deciding how many triangles I have, what kind of triangle it is. So we're going to have, what's my matching set? My matching set is X. So really, when I'm looking at my test, those represent my letter A's. So A, and that's B, and I just cross those out. But that's usually what I do when I'm doing a triangle. So is A greater than B?
Yes.
Yes. So what do we know if A is greater than B?
There's only one unique solution. So
There is
2.3.
2.3, one unique solution. We're going to go ahead and draw our triangle. Okay, so if I'm putting my triangle together, I'm being really sloppy today. My 3 doesn't even look good. If I'm drawing my triangle, I want to draw it accurately. It doesn't have to be like, oh, that's definitely 30 degrees. What I'm talking about is that all the sides are where they should be and where the angles are. So 4 is going to go here, and 3 goes down here. Okay, since you all did your sign law assignment last night, you guys should have no problem doing this one. So when we are solving for all the missing angles, we got to solve for angle Y, angle Z, and side Z. Or side Z, depending on where you are. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I always start with my matching set information. I always start with that. So 4 over sine of 30 equals, and what do I have to solve for first?
We should solve for the side first.
We can't solve for the side.
Don't solve for the angles.
Right, which one?
We could do Y.
Have to do Y. Because I have to. I have no information about Z. I don't have an angle, I don't have a side, I don't know nothing. So I have to solve for angle Y first. So let's get started with that. So 3 equals sine of Y. And you guys taught me in physics, if my variable's on the bottom, I'm flipping everything.
Yep.
So sine of 30 over 4 equals sine of Y over 3. That's supposed to be a Y. Times both sides by 3. Can you guys solve for angle Y? And I'm going to let you do this in your calculators because I want to make sure you guys know what you're doing. And we're going to round to the nearest whole degree.
Then you gotta do the inverse or whatever. I think I got it.
Okay. Did you guys get 22 degrees?
Yep.
If you didn't, remember this indicates that you have to use your second function button or your shift button. depending on what calculator you have. Mine's a second button. Some will say shift, but it's usually second or shift. Make sure your calculator's in degrees, because you might cry if it's not. Or you'll get a funky answer for sure. Okay, so I solved for y. Now what I'm going to do?
Well, now we can find angle Z due to knowing angle
Yep.
X and Y. Maybe
So
180 minus 30 minus 22.
Olivia, did you get 22? You gave a big huff. Does that mean you got it or you didn't get it? What? You did not?
I don't.
Oh, I thought you gave a big huff.
No.
But did you get 22?
No. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, I will walk you through that in a second. What do we got there? 55, 128. Thanks for the mental math, appreciate it. So we have angle 128 now, which now we can solve for side Z. So this is 128. So now we
I want
can...
to show that it's angles that, should we put the angle sign in front of the Z?
You
Or does it
can,
matter?
but the degree symbol is going to give it away,
Oh,
and
true.
hopefully that...
I don't know if it matters or not.
You know what? I would never say no to an angle sign.
That's fair.
Okay. Okay, now what we're solving for is we're solving for side Z. All right, so this means we have to repeat sine law.
So what we just did.
Exactly what we just did. And I always start again with the given known set, like our matching set. I always start with that. So I'm going to have 4 over sine of 30 equals side Z, which I don't know, times by sine 128. So what I'm looking for is on top. So I don't have to flip anything. I don't have to do my physics flip. I'm going to multiply both sides by sine of 128. So now it's just straight multiplying. I'm going to put 4 times sine of 128. Now you can do it one of two ways. You can put that in and then go right in. Now notice I had to close my bracket. If you don't close your bracket, you're going to get a funky answer. And then you can say divide by sine 30, or you can hit enter and then go divide by sine 30 if you don't trust your bracket use. Or you can put it all in as one.
For me, I don't have to put brackets on mine.
Really? That's
Yeah.
crazy town.
Like I can go sine of 128 times by 4 equals 3.15 whatever. and
Right.
Divided by sine.
Okay, so you're hitting the equal sign. What happens though, if you do 4 times sine of 128, leave that bracket open and then go divide by sine of 30.
Like that.
If I did that, I'm going to get a completely different answer.
But pressing equal, you're fine then.
Right, pressing equal, you're fine. That's what I did for these two lines. It's because it's trying to take 128, divide it by sine of 30, and then doing sine of that.
Yeah. Do we round to the whole number?
No, we're going to use 2 decimal places, so 6.30. And there's no units of measure given on this one, so we are just going to leave it, or we could simply write in units. Okay, so let's look at the next one. That was just 2.3. Good review. Smart people. And I know you all did your assignment last night. Okay, let's look at the next one. Is A greater than B? Okay, first of all, where's my matching set? What letter is my matching set? A. So it's nice, it matches up, everything's great. Is A greater than B?
No.
No. So A is less than B. We've got to do some math here. And this is where we do our big fluffy cloud. So we're going to have 2 big fluffy cloud, 3 times sine of A.
Two is greater than 1.5.
So what does that mean?
That means we have 2 triangles.
Means we have 2 triangles. So again, if I'm looking at this, I'm looking at this part here. I've done 2 is greater than whatever this multiplied out to be. And so that means I'm going to have 2 triangles. FYI, by doing this test, this is mandatory. This is worth a half mark on these questions. So if you don't show me this work, I mean, if you don't have to put the big fluffy cloud. If you do, great. But if you don't show me any of this and just dive into it, because you'll be able to see on the test which question is the 2 triangle one, because it's going to be worth more marks. Right? So if you just dive in and do 2 triangles, then you will lose a half mark just because you didn't show me that math. Okay, so that's out of the way. We have 2 triangles. This is how we set them up, ladies and gentlemen. It is very, very specific. So we're going to draw a triangle. You might want to draw it bigger than you normally do. Proud of you. So what happens with a 2-solution triangle is that this arm, it can swing out, as in the position that we just drew, or it works where it can swing in, and then you get this little sliver of a triangle in here. Okay? So we're going to start with this. This is how well you follow instructions will save you a lot of time. You always put your matching set in the bottom left. The angle goes in the bottom left. So this is A, so angle A is going to go here. So where does side A go?
Across from it.
Across from it. This is your swinging arm. What you just labeled here is the arm that's going to move in to make your second triangle. All right, this is the thing you got to remember. The second side, this second piece of information, the angle goes on the bottom right. Because this, the 3 then goes here. This is static. Do you guys know what static means? Doesn't move. This arm swings. The matching arm set swings. This one is static, so it's stable. It doesn't move. It does not go anywhere. If you can set it up like this every time, so you're going to save yourself. And then there's another letter that I've totally neglected. There's only one spot for it to go. Where does it go?
Top.
At the top. Okay, so I'm going to leave that like that. Okay, here we go. Good job, everybody. We're going to solve triangle 1. It's lesson 2.3. Easy peasy. We're going to do it. Triangle 1 is the big one. This is lesson 2.3. So everybody is going to get 2.5 marks. So if you can only do big triangle 1, you're going to get 2.5 marks out of 5. So,
And labeling would be 3.
and then if you did that, that would be 3. So 3 out of 5. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to solve it just like the first thing. What do we got to solve for first?
We gotta solve for
Angle B. B is going to be on the bottom, so we're going to have, I always start with 2 over sine of 30. I always start with my matching set, and then I'm going to have 3 over sine B. We're going to do the physics flip. You guys solve for angle B. And Olivia and I are gonna figure it out. This essentially is what we're putting into your calculator. I'm gonna put this in first. Or no, let's do second motion sign. Yeah, shift sign. Okay. And then we're gonna put 3 times sin 30. 3. Just do 3. Okay, just go. Divide by 2. Let's see how this goes. Let's do this.
Then we're gonna need to do the second function. Round to 49, I think it's 48.5. Cindy's got 0.75.
Go. Do it again. Do it again.
What?
Where you were. Yeah, perfect. Enter.
It was out again. Slow ass, dumbass, stupid ass.
49?
Yep. Correct.
Okay, what do we find next?
Now, we can find angle C because we know that.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you give me 101?
Hopefully. Now what I need to find?
Side C.
Side
now you
C.
can do the sine law all over again.
Yep, we're gonna do the sine law all over again.
Oh. How much room is the second triangle going to take up? Because I gotta know how small I can make.
I'm gonna put the whole second triangle in this area right here.
I think, yeah, I think I agree.
I'm gonna tell you, trying to put all these numbers in the triangle is going to crush your soul. Actually, probably not crush your soul. It's gonna crush my soul when I have to mark it.
Why?
Because you're gonna try to cram all these little tiny little numbers in there, and I'm gonna need a magnifying glass to try to read them. I'm gonna say, is that a 6 or a 20? And you're gonna be like, duh, that's an 8, and nobody's gonna get marks. I'm gonna cry. It's gonna be bad.
No, it's a big city. Did you get 3.93?
I did.
Okay, well there's that.
Okay, so now we've got triangle 1 done. We're gonna move into triangle 2. I'm going to change colors. So now triangle 2 is we take the swinging side and we swing it in. So it's gonna be here. So I need some highlighters to make this much better.
Okay, so how do you want us to draw this?
I don't know.
Literally, you just look at the top and just make a line down kind of on that side.
Yep. So notice that my 2, the side length doesn't change. We're just taking the side. It's like a pendulum. All you physicsy people, a pendulum, and it's just going to swing in. Okay. So the length doesn't change. It's still 2.
I'm a physics person.
Perfect.
Okay. Cindy loves our physics.
Okay. So what you also need is you need this purple triangle. See that guy in there?
Yeah. what
Purple
about
is the helper.
the hell? So you don't have past dollars and things.
All right, you guys told me that in triangle 1, this one was 49. Right? You guys would agree with me? In the big triangle, this one was 49?
Yeah. Yeah.
My small triangle is my yellow one. Okay, it doesn't look like it's an isosceles triangle right here, the purple one, but it is isosceles because two sides are the same. It's not drawn very well, but just go with me because my drawings are bad, but my math is good. So if this side is 2 and this side is 2, if this angle is 49, what's this purple angle down here? What do you know about isosceles triangle? Two sides are the same, therefore
Two angles.
two angles are the same. So if this is 49, what's this one?
49.
49. Okay, not an answer. So B2 is this angle, oh, I should not put that line, this angle inside the yellow triangle.
Yeah.
But you know something about angle measurements on a straight line. What do you know? What do angle measurements of a straight line?
90. No, bad guess.
Bad guess, bad guess. Think about your x-axis on the coordinate plane. When we were going around and you hit the negative x-axis, how far did you go?
180.
180.
Yes, I knew it was 90.
So we know that this whole thing will give us 180. So if we know this side is 49,
So what's 180 minus 49?
you just subtract.
And
So
it's 131. Why we call that B number 2 or B2?
B2 because we're into the second triangle and we already solved for B. So I'm putting a subscript on it to say, hey, this is B, but it's a different B.
Okay. So triangle 2 is kind of easy to find.
It really, like, there's not a lot of math. So if you know that B is 131, what do you know that C2 is?
Well.
C2 is going to be this one up here. What do you know about all interior angles of a triangle? They add up to 180.
Yeah, so I have to use this subtract. Well, we didn't get asked to find that, did we? Oh, yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
we have to find every piece.
Yeah. Why we're subtracting it from 30? Oh, because 30 was over there.
30 is the angle that's still shared, right?
Yeah.
So 30 and 2 exist in both the big triangle and the little yellow triangle.
So now we gotta solve for the C side.
And that's it. You're done. So again, I'm always using my matching pair that came in the question.
Did you get 1.30? Yes, you did.
All right, there you go. That's how you solve a two-angle solution. I'm-
Yes, example 3 is going to be no solution.
Oh, it might be. I'm going to connect a dot for you without showing you, and I hope you guys can think about it and visualize it. If you can't, I'll get a compass out and we can work on it. Okay, if I have, you know what the compass is? The math sets?
Yep.
Yeah? Not like a compass like we're going with Gallo. Okay, so if I have an angle that's 30 degrees, let's say that's 30 degrees, and I have an angle that's 100 degrees, what side is longer? My 30 degree or my 100 degree? What's the distance between my two fingers? There's my 30,
An inch.
there's my
2
100.
inches.
Okay, so which one's bigger? My 30 or my 100?
100.
The 100. So here's the thing. You guys can rationalize this and check your math. The bigger the angle of the set, your side should be longer. So if we look at this, what's my largest angle?
180 or 131.
131 is my largest angle. It's B2, right?
Yeah.
So B2, what is the longest side of the triangle?
3.93.
There is no, so,
Oh, I'm messing up.
okay. So my largest angle is, oh, that's weird. Did we mess up here? Did we
No,
mess
I-
up
I
here?
think that's like
I was 131. Did I mess up here? Did you guys get 1.3?
No, but right now. Sine of 19. Sine 19 times by 2 equals 5 minus sine of 30. No, oh yeah, 1.3 is right, yes.
1.3? Can you guys check my math on the sine of 101?
Where's that?
This one.
Sine of 101 times by 2 divided by sine.
No, we got it right.
Yep.
That's weird.
Why would 3?
Oh, no, it's not. They're relative to the triangle that they're in. Sorry. So if we look at this angle, its side should be the biggest side, right?
It is.
And it is. And if we look at this one, if this is my longest side, then C should be my biggest angle.
Yeah.
And it is.
It's relative.
So it's all relative to the triangle. I was comparing them across triangles, and that's not
So,
good.
I'll do
Oh, it was panic pants. So we know that side A should be my smallest side because angle A is my smallest angle. Does that make sense? It's just a way to check. Like if we got 0.75 here, we have a problem. Because it's my biggest angle, C is my biggest angle, so side C should be my longest side. Yeah.
What side be in that? In the
It was
side?
given. Side B is 2.
I thought.
Oh, sorry, side B is 3,
Oh. Okay,
right?
okay,
Because
okay.
it was given in the equation.
Yeah. I got it now.
Okay, so do you want to know how the marks break down for this? Anything that's a sine law, anything that you actually had to do the sine law for is a point. Anything that you subtracted for is a half mark. And your test is a half mark. So that adds up to 5. So that's how that mark's going to break down on your test and on your quiz.
Okay.
Okay? All right, last example. This is a long lesson, but we're just,
I gotta guess that it's gonna be no solution.
okay. Is A less than B?
Yep.
A is less than B, so we have to do math. All right, so that's our big fluffy cloud. So we have 3, big fluffy cloud, 4, sine of 30. Sine 30, do you notice I'm a big fan of? Do you know what sine 30 equals? 1/2.
Ah.
So I always,
It's not equal.
so 3, big fluffy cloud, 2.
I guess was wrong.
So what does that mean?
Just one unique triangle.
Nope,
Oh. I'm not understanding. We have to do 2 triangles here.
2 triangles.
What happens if it's no solution? So if that's equal right there, we just do nothing?
No, if it's equal, it's a right angle triangle. If it's less than, it's no solution.
Okay, so if that was.
Less than, you say no solution.
That's not helpful.
And then you just made our lives easier.
And then I made your life easier, but let's be honest, that's not going to happen very often.
We should
Sorry.
make those ones.
Okay.
You should put it out this
Fair. I think it does show up on a quiz. I can't remember what version it is. So, okay, I would like, let's do the first triangle together. Okay, so how do we label our triangle?
Well, we know that the matching pair is
Always goes
is A, so it goes in the left side corner.
left side corner.
So that'd be angle 30, and across would be side 3.
Okay, and then where do I put that other?
Put that down in the right corner. Let's solve for angle B first.
Okay, so if you can label your triangle like this always, where the matching set goes in the left corner, and then you move to the right corner, and then we forgot C.
So say it was like B was the matching set, B would go in that corner?
B we'd always start from the left. Yeah, your matching set always in that corner. It's a good question. Good question. Okay, let's solve for angle B. How does this make you feel? If I do this right off the hop.
What?
Oh, if you just flip it right away.
I did the physics flip and I didn't even write it the other way.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Fine with that, because we did it so much anyway.
Okay. If you don't like if this doesn't help your brain, write it the way we do first and then do the physics flip.
I like how it's called the physics flip.
Well, it has to have a name.
I know, I like it. I started that.
I said it first.
I'm just gonna do angle B. I'm getting lazy. I'm not showing any of my work.
Neither will I actually be able to use it. 0.67. Oh, did I type it wrong?
You just didn't do your second function.
Oh.
You haven't done your math yet.
There we go. Now we can find the angle C.
And some people don't show the step of subtracting. I always do. But it's totally up to yourself. Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, and then this is where I leave you. I would like you guys to do the second triangle. And I wish I could pause this video, but I can't. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna watch all the videos.
and there's like a long lull.
I just, yeah.
Okay, where do you swing? You swing from the left? No, you swing from the right to the left.
Yep.
I'm gonna pause the screen here. And you guys can't see me do my math. All right, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. Here's your triangle. Oh, I don't want to show you my map. Did you swing the arm in and label it 3?
Yeah.
Okay, good job. Did you use your helper triangle, your isosceles triangle, to pull that 42 to the other side?
Yes.
Okay, good job, everybody. So if you've done all of those things and solving on the inside, now remember that this is B2. Lots of people write down 42 for B2, and that's incorrect. The purple is the helper.
So once you get the two angles, then you gotta find side.
So all I did for B2, 180 minus the helper 42. Got 138. Did everybody get that one?
Oh, yeah.
People are frantically writing, so I'm going to assume that you either weren't here yet or maybe you were stuck on what was the next step. And then angle C is just this little one up here. So it looks little. It is little,
So it would be 12.
It's 12.
Yeah.
right? And then I'm solving for side C.
Okay, that's right.
You need to remember that 30 degrees lives in both triangles, lives in the big triangle and lives in the little yellow triangle. So don't lose that third angle of 30. I kind of don't even talk about it because it's there, but I think seeing it for the first time, it's kind of hard to grasp.
Questions?
Mhm.
Why were you using sine? Why would you sine 12 again instead of sine of 130? Because we're solving for that. Because we're solving for side. Yeah.
We already know what side B is.
Yeah. So we're solving for side C. So we use the angle that side C has.
Correct. Yep. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Not,
I don't even mind that. You said it was
it's
hard.
it's not
It's
not
lots of steps.
easy, but there's just lots of steps. And if you don't label your triangle properly, then you're pooched. If you're trying to swing the B arm, it's gonna mess everything up.
It's all the
So
way.
it's really about following the instructions and making sure that you've got good practice on doing it. And really, that's it.
I
Yep.
like that.